What is up, guys? Today is now day 40 of learning Spanish. If you've been tuning in, maybe you haven't, maybe you're not, but I've been now memorizing the stories that I've been writing for the past month and a bit. And yeah, so I've been memorizing that, which is also obviously a crazy method. It requires a lot of, it's very different from my previous method of sort of just passively accumulating knowledge in a very sort of casual manner. It's obviously very intense. You have to really, really focus. Memorization is something that really requires an intense degree of focus. So, and that's something I usually try to avoid when I learn languages because it's such a long process that, you know, you applying intensity is something that can really, well, it can demotivate you when you wake up the next day and you know that you have to memorize something. It's just a pain in the ass. But I can tell you this much because I've been doing a little bit the same with Chinese, even this morning or whatever, because I'm trying to keep that up. But these videos are about Spanish, so I'll keep it to that. I know for sure, for a fact, the dopamine you get when you actually memorize the stories is like nothing else. You really do feel like you're progressing, right? Um, and you memorize it, and then it keeps sort of playing in your head throughout the whole day. And that's an interesting observation, I think, because obviously, like, if you go to the gym, yeah, you train really hard, you train intense, but then the actual muscle building, the actual growth, and where you get stronger is actually in the resting period, is when you've done your intensity and now you're just chilling, right? You've done the work. You just have to, make sure you eat adequate nutrition and get, good rest, good sleep, good, just chill the fuck out. And then that's actually where the gains are made, which is interesting. So if I when I notice even this already with my memorization, if I'm intense right off the bat and I start memorizing stuff, I notice that throughout the whole day, my brain is sort of playing with it, these little memorized sentences and stuff like that, and I can sort of feel my brain sort of doing the work a little bit for me, which is great. That's a really, really good sign so far. We're gonna see how it goes. But obviously, I'm up to story two memorization, so I'm gonna read it off by heart. The book, my book is over there. I'm gonna try not to look at it. So I'm going to try and look in, down when nothing is. Um, yeah. So yeah. So the second story is about something. Let me just try and think of it. David está emocionado por las vacaciones de invierno. Uh, Tiene un poco de tiempo libre en invierno. No tiene que trabajar uh, durante 2 semanas. Um, Quiere irse de vacaciones. Uh, pero aún no sabe a dónde ir. Uh, Quiere ir a Francia, pero Francia es muy cara. Uh, los billetes de avión cuestan mucho y David no habla francés. Decide estudiar, ahorrar dinero y quedarse en casa. There we go. So that's the second story memorized. I think I got it right. Maybe I didn't. Anyway, but drawing back to what I was talking about, yes, it's knowing that memorizing it is it feels like to me it's like I'm really really doing something, and I'm not sure if that's an illusion. I know that if you memorize the words, it feels like you're getting somewhere, and you feel like you're getting, people use like flashcards and stuff like that. In fact, I got a comment and he was suggesting flashcards, and that might be a good thing. I mean, you know, might be a good thing. But people often use that flashcards for memorizing vocabulary and words. And although obviously vocabulary and words is a big part of it, the problem is that you're not getting the context needed in order for you to know when and how to use the word. So you can memorize all the words in the world that you want, but if you don't know where they're generally put or where they're generally used, then it seems quite useless to memorize these words without it. So I think that memorizing stories, whole articles, what you're doing is you're memorizing words within context, And that's giving you a greater understanding of the word in and of itself. And of course, it's giving you the capability to to use the words correctly, you know. And if I know that generally speaking I say this sentence, and I can just replace one of the verbs or replace one of the nouns or whatever to suit whatever you know, whatever the actual real life situation is that I'm trying to communicate when I'm using Spanish in real life, then it's as simple as that. It's simply just drawing upon the sentences and the paragraphs that I've memorized and just replacing words that are relevant to what you're going to be talking about. So I think that's a large method. Sorry, I know the light keeps messing up the camera, but they're pretty much the observations I've made. But yeah, I do feel like I'm progressing. Hopefully I am. I don't actually know. I think we are going to find out in the coming weeks about how much this is going to impact my knowledge of Spanish in general, and if it's going to impact my communication skills for my benefit. So anyway, if you guys have any suggestions, keep me in mind. Have a great day, and see ya.